say to me, not sure you keep good company. Let me explain the way it started when two comets come into contact and parted. Stuck in your mind from the last time it was started. A grayscale or a fine line so you were guarded. Now it's time to buy the vibe started to amplify, not simplify. They said we'd never get it. They said we'd never win. They said we'd never get it. Never doubt me. There's one lesson left to learn. Accept no less than you deserve. Circle of hate you inspired. Self-hate desire makes you a liar. It's not like you've been wrong. No question you're that strong. No words can never hold you down. They said we'd never get it. They said we'd never win. They said we'd never get it. Never doubt me. They said we'd never get it. They said we'd never win. They said we'd never get it. Never doubt me. It's all a lie. You feel this fight. That's just more fuel for you. Don't lose your mind. It's worth your strife. Take hold. It's all for you. They said we'd never get it. They said we'd never win. They said we'd never get it. Never doubt me. They said we'd never get it. They said we'd never win. They said we'd never get it. Never, never doubt me. Never, never doubt me.
All right, welcome back to the Spotter Stand. Glad everybody could join us this week. Once again in the booth, we've got BSR Hot Rod, BSR Pockets, and special guest Eline 114 with us this week. How you guys doing?
What's up? Doing great. What about y'all?
Doing good, doing good. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day holiday. We'll start out here with this great looking logo that BSR Scar made up for the holiday, Memorial Day. Remember and honor the great American flag sitting behind the Bomb Squad Racing logo. Awesome job on that scar, and it's a good time for us to just take a little bit of time and remember and honor all the servicemen that we have lost, men and women we've lost. They paid the ultimate price for all of us to be able to have the freedoms that we have. And the freedoms to do the things like do the Spotter Stand show every week and all the great racing that we do every week here at Bomb Squad. As we know, we finished up. What did we finish up? We finished up segment 1 of the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series this past week at Charlotte. So bonus points have got a big change. All of your race attendance points for the first segment have been added. Segment bonus points have been added. We added new winners to all 3 series. This past week, it's been a hell of a week of racing at Charlotte. We had some great races all 3 nights. And let's get right into it. Wednesday night in the Truck Series was BSR Terry Scott that took the victory in the trucks. Believe it or not, this was Terry Scott's first victory in the trucks. He took the win at Charlotte, grabbed himself a bonus point for that win, and adds his name. I think Terry might have already been in the Victory Lane Club, but this was his first win in the Truck Series. So congratulations. Great job, Terry Scott.
Top 5.
Yes, great win for Terry Scott. Momo's second, now he's third. Wing Sport and RJ rounds out top 5.
Yeah, Momo had a great truck Wednesday night. Momo led 50 laps. Brought his truck to lead the most laps in that race. Mayhem, of course, we know he won the All-Star race in the trucks. Also had a great truck. Led 31 laps in that race. I managed to bring home 20. Terry Scott led 16, brought home the victory. Nelly led 17 laps in that race. A lot of people with great trucks. And we had some green flag pit stops on Wednesday night as well. So it was a great race.
Fantastic race. I mean, that was
Yeah,
that was a hard fought battle right there.
I thought we had a lot less cautions than it says we had. I was thinking we only had like 2 or 3 because we had a crap load of green flag pit stops in that race strung together, I guess. Made it
A
seem like
crap
a lot
load,
more.
an official crap load.
I believe we ended, was it Wednesday night or Thursday night that we ended the race with 2 green flag pit stops in a row? Was that Wednesday night?
I think, pretty sure that was Wednesday night.
I thought it was Thursday.
I was thinking that was Thursday too, but I know one of these nights we absolutely
maybe-
had a
maybe
70-plus
it was.
lap run that was under green with two green flag stops in a row.
I
Yep.
do know we had a lot of green flag run on Wednesday night, though.
Let's go over take a look at the
Got off.
points in the truck series here. We've got we're maybe about halfway through the season before the chase starts here in the trucks, and it is BSR Pockets at the top of the board, holding the lead down in the truck series with BSR Mayhem right behind him in second place, only down by 5. And look at SS Joba right there in third place, down by 6. Terry Scott with that victory at Charlotte moves up 4 positions to take over 4th, down by 12. And Monty Keller currently in a tie for 5th place with Vince Conway, both of them down by 16 points. So really close up here for the top 5, and really all the way back to Hot Rod, only down by 21 back there in 8th place. So close racing. Mayhem right on your heels there, Pockets. SS Joba right on his heels. How long do you think you can hold this lead down here in the truck series?
Well, I just barely got it away from. I think SS Joba was ahead. I was 1 point behind him at one point the last week or so. Man, we're coming into some tracks that are going to be tough to handle, so we're just going to have to kind of keep an eye on the guys we're close to us in points. That Gum Mayhem and SS Terry Scott, Monty Keller, Vince Conway, those guys are all going to be fighting, stay in the top 5 right there. So we're just going to have to kind of just, show some patience. Don't get too excited. Just try to defend when you can and try to make some points when you can. It's about all you can do. Hope it works out.
Yeah, we got some bad tracks coming up for you, Pockets, but also some good tracks. And if I remember right, you're pretty good at Kentucky and Chicago, and I know you ain't too bad at. You got Texas next week.
Not
You'll
next
be
week.
all right.
Oh yeah, next week. I'm I'm thinking this week. This week we are
That's
racing.
Texas.
This week we're racing dirt, correct? Tomorrow night.
Yep,
Yes.
Orange County. Tomorrow night is Orange County.
Orange County tomorrow night in the dirt as the trucks take a week off. Then the following week we will be at Texas in the trucks, and Texas will be another bonus point race for this truck series. So you guys be ready for that. We've got our second Texas Motor Speedway race coming up in the trucks that will be bonus points toward your chase. So top 5 at Texas next week are going to get some extra bonus points. Let's
Yeah,
take
we
a
get to roll right back into another week of bonus points. That's next week, you say?
next week, yes sir.
Only Texas. Yeah,
Only
Texas.
only Texas. but
Only
we
the
still-
trucks,
That
yeah.
still is bonus points. So that's a big deal.
Yes, because they don't run at Daytona. We do the second Texas race.
Well, speaking of bonus points, let's go take a look at how they stand currently in the trucks. Terry Scott with the victory moves into the winner race box over there, grabs himself another bonus point. And also over in the totals box, Terry Scott, that is his first bonus point in the truck series. He has not received any bonus points in any of the other 4 bonus point races so far this season in the trucks. But I know Terry runs pretty good at Texas. I'm surprised he didn't get in the top 5 in the spring Texas race. I think maybe he had a little trouble, but I'm sure he'll be coming back in the fall Texas race next week to, I don't know why it's fall. It's really summer, but fall Texas, I guess, comes in the Cup in the Xfinity series, and I copied that box over on this series, so it's labeled fall. We know it'll be in the summer, but I'm sure Terry Scott will be looking to get in the top 5, if not a victory, and take home those 3 bonus points for the victory in Texas. Second place will get 2, third, fourth, and fifth will all get 1 bonus point. Currently, it looks like, is that right? Yeah, myself and Mayhem tied for the top spot over there in the bonus points, both with 5. Several drivers in there with 2. Looks like Quack, Wings, Pockets has got 4, so you're right there in second place right now, bonus point wise in the trucks. You're leading the series, holding down 4 bonus points.
Quack's bonus points are wrong if I'm looking at that right.
Quack has Quack won the Daytona race. Got 3 bonus points.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 2. You said 2.
No, I said 3. Thought I said 3 anyway.
Maybe you did, but I could have swore you said 2 because I was thinking 2. That's why I didn't think it was right. That's okay.
Yeah, that's where a victory can really come in, because those are the only bonus points Quack has got so far in the truck series. And that victory at Daytona in the season opener earned him 3 bonus points. It puts him right up there with the top guys so far in bonus points in this truck series. So let's move over and take a look at Thursday night. Thursday, the Cup Series at Charlotte. And on Thursday night, it was Steve Looney and that number 21 Mountain Dew machine that brought home the victory at Charlotte. Steve's first victory in the Cup Series. Adds his name to the winner race box in the Cup Series. Grabs himself a bonus point towards his chase right as we wrap up segment 1. Great job, Steve. Awesome race, man. Steve had a great car. He was right up there at the front. Hung around the top 5 most of the race. And at the end, where it counts, Steve was able to bring it home and get the victory. Great job, Steve Looney.
Yes, Mr. Looney. What a great win. Nelly second, Texan third, Mayhem with another strong showing fourth, and Terry Scott rounds out the top 5.
Great race.
Go ahead, Pockets.
Great race. That's Steve Looney, man. That cat drove a heck of a race. He's raced hard all week long, so he got in there and got that win. So hats off to him for that. And the top 5 there getting their due. So
Yes,
good deal.
You were right. You were right, Texas. This is the race that ended under green with a 10-lap. Some of the guys pitted with like 10 to go. Some pitted a little bit earlier than that, but yeah, pitched green flag stop right there at the end.
Yeah, because Steve had a great strategy. Those last couple of pit stops, he pitted a little bit early in the last two stops, and he was able on that last stop. He pitted 7, 8 laps, I think, before the rest of the leaders did. And on fresh tires, he was able to get a huge lead on the rest of the leaders as they came out of the pits. I think it was me and Nelly trying to chase down Steve Looney. He had about an 8-second lead on us as we came out of the pits, and there just wasn't enough laps left for us to get up on Steve and challenge him for that win. So, great job by Steve Looney using the strategy card there, taking an early pit stop, coming out on fresh tires, and bringing home that win. And BSR DJ Champs, you can see down there, had an awesome, strong car. He ran great at Charlotte in the Cup Series, led 82 laps out of 160, led a little over half the race. DJ with a little trouble towards the end, lost the camshaft, and ended up finishing 14th, 20 laps down. But man, DJ, really strong car, had a great race. It's too bad that he wasn't able to keep that thing in one piece and finish that race, because led 82 laps. Great car.
Yeah, I remember when I finished 6th in that, which was a great finish for me, but I kind of shot myself on that last pit stop. I forgot to uncheck my tires and ended up taking 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires. Yeah, it killed me.
Let's take a look at the points. Last time we will see these points, as it is the last race of segment 1. We'll be starting a brand new segment this coming up week at Pocono. Cup Series will be at Pocono this week on Thursday night, and points will start over in segment 1. So segment 2, but finishing up segment 1, it was Rick Craddock brought home the segment victory. Terry Scott, second place, down by 9 points. Monty Keller in third, down by 19. Myself in fourth, down by 23, and Brain Fade rounding out the top 5, down by 26. Pockets, man, 1 point. 1 point to Brain Fade. You were sitting there in 5th place last week, and you were just one. I think you had about 2-3 points on Brain Fade, and a couple of points on me. I had a pretty good race. I managed to move up to 4th place, and man, 1 point out of the top 5, just barely missed that bonus point for segment 1.
Yeah, he and Brain and Monty were, I think, 7 points ahead of me going into that race. Brain actually had trouble at the beginning of that race and finished. I think he finished dead last, right? So it was very unfortunate for him, but I did not make up enough spots to be able to solidify that, and I ended up falling out. You know what I mean? I needed to stay within striking distance of him, and I missed it by one finishing position. But man, we raced hard in that race. I mean, we really did. We did everything we could, tried to stay out of trouble. I think that's we might have had a little bit of trouble, a little bit of damage, but man, that's just the way it goes. You see how close them points are, and when we say that one bonus point may mean the whole world, that's why.
Yeah, 1 point can make the difference sometimes. Let's go back. Let's take a look at these results one more time, just to see.
Brain Fade did finish last.
Yes, he did.
Pockets, is that not the race that you kind of spun missing everybody and got the flat tires and went a lap down?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I missed, or I got clipped and got spun, but I didn't really get much damage, but it blew my tires and I had to pit right then. And I just that race had so much green in it that I never did get caught back up.
It looks like Monty finished right behind you, did lead some laps, got a bonus point. You actually led 1 lap, got a bonus point. Brain Fade did not lead any laps, but then finished dead last. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. You actually gained 7 points on Brain Fade, but it was just 1 point. 1 point off.
Well, I gained 7. I gained 7. I needed to gain 9. Is that what the deal was?
Yeah, you needed to gain 8 to tie, 9 to take that 5th spot.
Well, I tell you can't get much closer than that. And that's not a deal breaker. But that is one bonus point. I mean, that could, if I lose a championship by 1 point, I can look back to this right here as the epicenter of where it all started. So
Well, let's take a look at the bonus
we'll make
points.
that up. Don't worry.
We've got most drivers in the teens now, since how we have finished the segment 1 and added. Most drivers got their 13 bonus points. I think there were only somewhere between 4 and 6 drivers who did not make the allotted 7 races out of 13 to get the full 13 bonus points. So this is how they sit currently. You see Steve Looney moved up to the winner race box there. Rick Craddock still dominating that box, with the only driver to be a repeat winner in this Cup Series. Rick Craddock has won 4 of these Cup races. Steve Looney added to that box over there. And with the segment ending up, segment bonus points are in. And it looks like it's currently Rick Craddock up at the top of the board with 19 bonus points. Momo led most of this bonus points all the way through this season. Momo now sitting at 18 with a couple other drivers. I'm at 18, and actually myself and Momo might be the only ones 18, sitting in second place right behind Rick Craddock with 19 bonus points. A few in there with 17. Monty Keller, 17 bonus points right now. I see anybody else down there with no. It looks like Monty is the only one with 17. A lot of drivers with 16, a lot of them with 15. But right now, Rick Craddock with those 4 wins, it's making all the difference to be leading the bonus points right now in the Cup Series.
Yeah, Rick Craddock, man, he's hanging tough in there. He had some trouble this week, so. And I think he's stumbled a little bit the last 2 weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah. Charlotte was not good for him at all. He didn't run good at the All-Star race, and then last week in the regular points race, he struggled there too. So he's probably the happiest person in the world knowing that this race is not in the chase.
Well, we've got it substituted with the road course in the chase. So all you guys remember out there, the Charlotte road course, if you do not have the track yet, it is available in the file browser, the Charlotte road course. I do have a setup available that it is in my setup folder. Make sure you get that loaded in. Also, remember you will have to have an updated shared folder. So if you're still running the original game shared folder, you will not be able to load that track. You will have to load an updated share folder, either the BSR folder that's got the Drunken Cow Jerky blimp in it. That one will work. That's the one I'm running. Larry, I believe, put his shared folder in there. That shared folder will work with that track. So download the track when you get a chance. We'll be coming up in the chase, and make sure you get the shared folder if you don't already have an updated shared folder in your tracks folder. You will need that. It looks like, as you guys can see, only 6 drivers did not make the allotted 7 races. You got Randy C in there, made 3, got his 3 bonus points. Fox only made 1. BSR Scar, busy man, only was able to make 3 of the Cup races. Eli, 114. Eli, you missed the 7 races by 1. You made 6 of the Cup races. If you'd have made 1 more race, you'd have 13 bonus points right now instead of just 6. Magoo only made 3 of the Cup races. We know Magoo's been out with some shoulder troubles here lately. And Manny D made 4 of the Cup races. But everybody else made at least 7 or more races and got their full 13 bonus points, as though they had shown up to every race. That's the way we do it here. The second segment in the Cup Series will be the same way. There are 13 races in segment 2. So if you make at least 7, you're going to get 13 bonus points, as though you showed up to all of them. If you don't make 7, you're going to get a bonus point for every race you showed up to. So segment 2 starting this week at Pocono, and not many bonus points left to hand out other than wins. You got the second Daytona race. That'll be a bonus point race. And then all that's left are the segment 2 top 5 and the full season top 5. We do keep track of the full season, segment 1 and 2 added together. So those top 5 guys will also get some bonus points at the end of the season right before the chase. So not many bonus points left to be handed out. Get a victory if you can. Because like Pocket said, one bonus point can make all the difference when it comes down to that last race at Homestead in the chase.
I just want to throw something out real quick, Texan. That Charlotte Roval race is only 16 weeks away, guys. It is coming quick, real quick.
Yeah,
There you go.
next time we get an opportunity, maybe an off night, next off night in the Cup Series, maybe we'll have that track back up again for some more practice. Anybody who doesn't have the track, I'd advise you to get it and make sure you can at least, if you don't want to necessarily come into practice, make sure you can at least connect to the server and load the track so that we don't have to, run guys through that last minute on the day of the race during the chase. So let's move on to Friday night. We'll take a look at the Friday night Xfinity Series at Charlotte. Another great race Friday night. More green flag pit stops. We had green flag stops all 3 nights in these races. And Friday night, it was the number 103 Medicine Chest Pharmacy car, BSR Nelly, that took the victory at Charlotte in the Xfinity Series. Great job, Nelly. I'm not sure if this was Nelly's first win in the Xfinity Series. We'll see here in a minute when we get over to the bonus points. But I think you said earlier, Larry, that this was Nelly's first victory on Friday night.
That is correct. That was Nelly's first win on Friday night. He has one other nights, but the first one for Friday night.
So once again, in each of these series, we've added another new driver to the winners list in each series. We've had hardly any drivers repeat victories this season. Halfway through the season already, and we're getting a different winner almost every single week. That says something about the competition here at BSR. It's tough to get a win. There are so many drivers that are fast at any track, any given track on any given night. You don't see the same drivers other than Rick Craddock on Thursday night dominating with 4 wins. The other series trucks, I think you got maybe one driver in there with 2 wins. And
you're the only one with 2 on in the truck.
And I think we've got the same situation going on here on Friday night with only maybe 1 or 2 drivers pulling off repeat victories on Friday night. So, yeah, tough competition here. A lot of different drivers taking home victories in all 3 of these main seasons or series, and been great racing. Let's take a look at the results from Friday night.
Yes, Nelly with a great win. Terry Scott second. Momo third. Pockets gets a 4th, and Wings rounds out the top 5.
Wings with a top 5. And look at that, we had a tie for most laps led. Terry Scott and Momo both led 45. So I think I heard a little bit of this on Friday night after that. Since Terry's listed first there, Terry Scott gets that laps led bonus point. Is that the way that works?
That is correct.
So
because he was the furthest finisher, so the highest finisher, so he gets the bonus point. That's how we did it last year when we ran into this situation numerous times last year.
Well, those 2 guys looks like dominated the front of the pack most of the night. Between them, they led 90 laps out of 160. Nelly, with the win, did manage to lead 17 laps. So you can see he had a strong car. And his twin car there, BSR RJ Rusty, also running a Medicine Chest Pharmacy car, led 15 laps. So those Medicine Chest boys with fast cars at Charlotte both led a lot of laps as well.
Yeah, RJ had a really good car. He just ran into bad luck and dropped the motor.
Those medicine cabinet guys were tough, boy.
That's funny. I was about to say medicine cabinet, but
Medicine cabinet boys, they come to Charlotte to get out of business. RJ,
I'm sure RJ would have had a better finish. Looks like he lost a valve there, so wasn't able to
No,
finish
that
that
was
race.
I lost the valve. RJ lost camshaft.
Ah, camshaft.
Gotta hate it when you lose your camshaft.
That's simple.
Let's take a look at the points on Friday night. Currently, these points are going to be starting over as well this coming up week. Xfinity Series also runs at Pocono. Is that right, Larry?
That is correct.
All right. So we'll be in the dirt Wednesday, Pocono on Thursday and Friday. And we just finished up segment 1 in the Xfinity Series as well. So these points are all going to reset coming up this week for Pocono. But I was lucky enough to take the top spot on Friday night and get the extra bonus points toward the chase. Terry Scott in second place, down by 17. BSR Pockets in third, down by 18. Brain Fade in fourth, down by 19. And SS Joba rounding out the top 5, down by 21. And again, we have a driver that missed the top 5 by 1 point, Monty Keller. Monty Keller looks like dropped out of the top 5 just this last week at Charlotte to being 6th, down by 22. Man, look how close that is. I had a pretty decent lead there with 17 points, but the rest of them 17, 18, 19, 21, basically all separated by 1 or 2 points. The rest of the top 5.
They were all together. Terry Scott, Pockets, Brain Fade, Joba, and Monty last week. Because I remember us all talking about this, and this is the one that you were thinking was Wednesday night where Pockets just missed. And
Yeah.
no, it was Friday night, and he managed to squeak in because he was outside the top 5. We're sitting right at fifth.
Yeah, he was sitting at 5th, it looks like, because he moved up 2 spots to 3rd on Friday night.
So first on Wednesday night and third in the standings on Friday night. Is that what you're telling me?
That's right. Not too shabby. Not too
I'll
shabby.
take it. I'll take it.
How many races did we have in this? Was it 11 in the first segment of
Yes.
the Xfinity? 11
Yes,
races.
11. Yep, we have 12 in the next one.
12 in the next. So I believe with 11, it was 6 races that was the cutoff. You had to make at least 6 to get the full 11 bonus points
That is correct.
towards your chase. Let's take a look at the bonus points in the Xfinity Series. You see, we have added Nelly over there to the winner race column, and it looks like Mayhem, the only driver to repeat a victory on Friday night with 2. Everybody else, 1 victory on Friday night. I believe Terry Scott would have 2. I'm sure Terry loves me bringing this up. I think we've talked about it several times. He did have 1 victory taken away from him in this series for not claiming a caution that ended up being his, and had that victory taken away, was put at the tail end, or the last car on the lead lap. So Terry would have 2 victories up there. So we have had a couple of repeat winners, but not very many. Most of these series, like I said, different winners just about every single week. And the totals box is filled up over there. A lot of drivers in the double digits. Again, we only had a few that didn't make the allotted amount of races. Currently leading the points here, it is BSR Pockets. Pockets, you've got 18 bonus points in this Xfinity Series right now. I think you're ahead of the next drivers by 2. I don't see anybody up there with 17. There are quite a few drivers, 3 or 4 of us with 16 bonus points that are just a couple of points behind you. Then you got several others up there with 14 bonus points. A lot of drivers with right at 11 didn't have any other bonus points except for their attendance points. And you got RJ Rusty with 6, SR5 with 2, Mayhem with 7, Jim Windrow in there with 4. Rick Craddock only made 1 race in this series with 1 bonus point. Randy C's got 2. BSR Scar, DJ Champ, both with 1. Magoo with 2. So you got a few drivers in there that did not make their allotted number of races. RJ got 6 and Mayhem was 7. So you might think, well, those guys made enough races. They actually made, I believe, 4 or 5 races, but they picked up a few bonus points in some of these other bonus point races, which puts them up at the 6 and 7 bonus point mark. But currently, BSR Pockets, you're in third. You were in third in the standings. You got 18 bonus points. You're sitting pretty good right now. You got one more segment of 12 races to go before we hit the chase. And again, in this series, not many bonus points left to be handed out. We got the second Daytona race. That's really going to pay, 3 bonus points for the victor. And
then Texas next week, right? Oh no! I'm sorry, Texas and truck. Yeah. All right, so Daytona.
Yeah.
So going to Daytona, I'm pretty confident about Daytona, y'all.
Yeah,
I like Daytona.
If you look at that Daytona box right above it, the season opener, you did win that race, picked up 3 bonus points there. So you stand a pretty good chance, to win yourself another Daytona, pick up another 3 bonus points. That'll help you stay up there in the lead or at least close to it come chase time for this series. We could see, knock on wood, I'm not trying to jinx you here, we could see that 38 car bring home a championship this year.
I'm just looking for some redemption when we get back to Daytona this year in the truck. Well, in the Xfinity car.
Well, and everything changes when you get to those last 10 races. I mean, you can have a great. I was just sitting here thinking, I got plenty of time to blow this. So, I mean, you can have a great season and get to those last 10 races, and you stumble once, you're not going to have much of a chance to recover. 2 mistakes in that series, it's over.
Well,
now I've got it kind of
little bit of advice.
Okay. From the champion,
from last year's three-peater.
You're the current champion.
Yeah, last year's three-peater, and I've won a few. I've won the Xfinity and the trucks
before. Did he say three-peater?
That's right. The women love me. Yeah, what can I say?
I was going to say, I knew you was something, but I didn't know it was all like that. I knew you was the champion, but I didn't really know why.
Well, I'm not going to try to brag here, but
Peter,
I won all 3 series last year. I won the Cup Series 3 times. I've won the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series twice. So, with that, a little bit of advice: when you're that high up in the points and you're going to be starting to chase either in the lead or very close to it, what I would do, I would look at any track that you might feel that you're a little bit weak at and get you a little practice in pre-chase. Start fishing around for drivers who are pretty good at those tracks, drivers who ran good there last year. Fish around for setups, see what you can find, get yourself the best setup you could possibly get for those tracks you feel a little bit weaker at, because, anything can happen even at a track you're pretty good at that's in the chase. You could actually have an accident, have a bad race, and if you can improve on those tracks you're a little bit weaker at, even just a little bit, if you can get just a couple of more spots, if you can get in the top 10, especially if you can get into the top 5 at one or two of your weaker tracks, that could be all it takes right there. So, that's what I would be thinking about, being that close in the points and possibility to championship. I would look at the chase tracks, see the ones I was the weakest at, and try to make some improvements right there.
I'll tell you, man, that Phoenix is the thorn in my side. It just is. I need to focus. I need to go do some practice at Phoenix. And I mean, as far as the rest of the tracks, though, I feel pretty confident. I don't think there's anything in there that's going to give me a whole lot of trouble.
And here's the thing. We got the second segment. You're talking about the chase. Is Mid-Ohio a road course?
It is.
Puts 3 road courses, 2 Iowas, 1 New Hampshire, and it's the next 12 races. Exactly. Did you hear that?
I'm not worried about the road courses. I'll do okay at the road courses. It's that Iowa.
And then you got Bristol included in with that.
I ain't afraid of Bristol. I'll do all right at Bristol.
Okay, so you got Pocono, you'll be okay at Michigan, you'll be okay at Daytona, you'll be okay at, and Bristol. And the rest you're going to be either semi okay or in trouble.
Most likely in trouble.
And just get out there on those road courses, and just
But you got
pretend
to.
pretend you're in Project Cars. You're having a little bit of fun, and turn you some
Well, that's
laps.
the thing. See, that's the thing with a road course, Pockets. I suck at a road course. I'm going to tell you right now, I suck at all road courses. What you got to do with the road courses is you let everybody go, you let them make their mistakes, and you nutrition race them. And you'll end up inside the top 10 with no problem.
I believe that. I believe that.
I absolutely believe that. That's how I race them all the time. Save my tires, so maybe I can get an extra lap or two. You know what I mean? Get a lap lead, that kind of stuff. And it all works out.
Well, I
Let's
told
see.
you earlier in the year that I would be glad to help you out at Phoenix. That's one of my stronger tracks. I love that track. I think you've had somebody share a setup with you in the past. I think you got a decent
No,
setup there. It's just
it's
a
not
matter of
really.
getting into that corner.
And it's not really set up. I tell you, Terry Scott, last season before last, I absolutely hated Phoenix. I hated it. Terry Scott gave me a little bit of advice about turn one, and I've heard you give the same advice about turn one, about how y'all get in there. And the natural way I approached turn one at Phoenix was completely wrong. I drove it the way it felt I could drive it, and that is the opposite of how you drive it. You have to slow down way, way early, and then get in the gas way. I was doing it the exact opposite. I was driving in, and whipping it way out by the wall, up high, to get running down the middle of the track in turn one. And Terry Scott told me, he said, slow down and clip that bottom, get right down on the white line, and then get on up out of there.
Yep.
And it actually helped me a whole lot at that track. It made me not hate that track, but that track is just, man, it's got its own kind of rhythm that I just cannot really put my thumb on yet. But I'm working on it.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's all about the rhythm, especially and Terry told you exactly right. You gotta lift early going down into turn one and get it right down on the line. And usually about the time your car gets on that line, you can get back in the gas immediately, and you'll have a great run off the corner and down that back stretch with the kink in it, and that'll improve your lap time by half a second or so. So.
see, I get my car to get down into turn one and get through turn one good, and then I struggle in turn 3 and 4 really bad.
And see, I
Really
feel
bad.
like I get through 3 and 4 real well, but I don't think I do.
No, I
It
lose
just
everything.
feels good.
Yeah,
But
the
it's not fast.
exit on turn 4 is a little tricky because it is it's easy to get back in the gas a little too soon. Find yourself pushing out into the wall. So 3 and 4 is a little tricky. You get in there too hot into 3, and your car will get loose. You'll go right around, and if you get in the gas too soon coming off, you'll find yourself in the wall or having to check up big time just to stay off of it.
Yeah, and if you don't do that, if you don't exit that turn just right, you'll find yourself having to negotiate with it, and it kills your time, it kills your speed, and it does it, and you hardly even, you know what I mean. It's tough to disseminate that. It's hard to pick up on that because, like I said, it feels good, but sometimes you're killing yourself on the clock.
Well, if you can manage to pick up that victory at that second Daytona race, that's definitely going to help your cause getting those 3 bonus points. And again, if you can manage to stay in the top 5 for segment 2, you'll pick up some more bonus points there. And since how you finished 3rd in segment 1, if you can finish top 5 segment 2, chances are you will be top 5 in the full season as well. Pick up at least one more bonus point there. So another victory, another Daytona victory, a couple more segment bonus points, and you'll be right there come the end, come the chase time.
I tell you what, if I could pull off the victory and get those 3 bonus points at Daytona, that would be just like, I could just sit back and pretend that I didn't get those bonus points, but that I won both Iowa races and the Phoenix race with those 3 points, because those would be like winning points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and those, even though you get those, one race like Iowa, you finish outside the top 10, and there go all 3 of those points, right there.
I know, and that's like I said, I have plenty of time to mess this up, so we'll see if I can keep from doing that.
Well, that's about all we've got for you this week. Being Memorial Day weekend, we did take off on Saturday night, so there was no Team Series race this past Saturday night, no Super Truck race this past Saturday night. We'll be back into the Team Series season 38. We'll kick back off this coming Saturday. Back in the Cup
User
cars,
joined your
I
channel.
believe back at Daytona. Is that right?
Yeah,
Sounds right.
What?
Daytona, Talladega, one of those two.
one or the other.
One or
It'll
the
be
other.
one of them for sure.
We are in the Cup cars at Talladega this week.
Hey, look who it is. VSR Terry Scott.
Yeah, who is this Terry Scott guy you keep talking about?
Oh,
at
there's
Phoenix?
this Terry Scott guy, driver of the number 66 Toyota. We're going places.
Yeah, let's go places.
Let's
go places. That's right.
Yeah, I always see him. I always see that he drives by and says, "Let's go places," but he never waits on me. He goes without me.
Hey,
That's
great
the point
job on the
leader.
win. Yeah, great job on the win there Friday night, Terry. We were talking about that one that got taken away from you earlier in the season. You would be
Yeah,
the
I heard
other
about
repeat.
that too, but you did apologize. That's all right.
Yeah, I know
can take
you hate to keep hearing about that, but it just reminds us all. It reminds us all of the chance we take, and
right.
That chance. If you take that chance, sometimes it's going to come back and bite you. It's happened to me in the dirt. I've had one taken away. Pockets has had a couple taken away this past season, I believe, and it happens to all of us. So, great job on Friday night. You're right up there in the bonus points as well. And we were talking about the competition level here. Terry, one of the drivers that is always going to be there, every track. Every series, whether it be Trucks, Cup, or Xfinity, Terry Scott, one of the drivers that you got to look out for every single week on the track.
Yeah, I will be the first loser.
Here's the thing, Terry. In hindsight, you made it back to second in points. You were 17 back, and you didn't lose 17 points when it got taken away from you. So you ended up finishing where you did anyway. So at least that's a plus.
Yeah, that was a big jump. Four positions was a good jump.
And another former champion here. You won. Which series did you win? Couple seasons ago.
Yeah, I won Trucks, and then one season I won the Trucks and the Xfinity. Still trying to get a cup. Still that too elusive cup.
Well, Rick Craddock is the driver you're going to have to look out for, I think, this season.
4 wins, man.
Yeah.
He's just unbelievable this season.
And you heard, normally we don't have to worry about Rick Craddock so much in the chase because he takes a vacation every year at 1 week during the chase. So he usually misses one chase race. We do allow one. There's no provisionals through the regular season, but in the chase, we allow one provisional. You can miss one race in the chase, get last place points, and still have a chance at the championship, which Rick Craddock almost, he gave me a good challenge. He almost took that championship in the Cup last season, even missing a race. So this season, Rick's going to be taking his laptop and his wheel along with him on vacation. So he's not going to be missing that race during the chase. He is going to be there. He may be a little bit down on equipment having to race on a laptop, but knowing Rick Craddock, it's not going to hurt him too much. So, yeah, that's the guy I think you're going to have to worry about in the Cup Series chase this season.
Here's a question. There's a question for you, Terry. You got the road course all set up? Are you all good for the Charlotte road course?
I have yet to download the track, and I do have to get his set up. I heard you guys talking about that, too. I've been listening for a little bit. Figured I'd come up here. You were saying nice things.
Well, if you look in
But don't
there,
get used to it.
I like Hot Rod's advice on the road course. Just let those other guys go ahead and screw up, and you get a top 10.
have you
Pretty good advice.
have you got an updated shared folder, Terry?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either, but I need to get on that and try it out and make sure that I'm solid. Join the server before it actually happens.
When we're at some of the regular tracks that Axel or Mayhem has updated for us, do you see the Drunken Cow Jerky blimp?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't turn it on, but I do see the Drunken Cow Jerky ads.
Yeah, you see the ads, and you probably see the Drunken Cow Jerky blimp as well. If that's the case, your shared folder should be good, and all you would need is the track itself.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pocket's got a real good season this year. Hot Rod, I'm really happy to see him performing a lot better than he did last season. He's up there a lot more often. I hated to see him, just goofing off last year, but hey, that's what he felt comfortable doing his first year in. God bless him.
Well,
Yeah.
I know one thing, Terry. Now, hopefully, knock on wood, I got this bad luck streak shaken off, and we'll be good to go. And I'm looking forward to second segment.
Yeah, I think you gave your bad luck to Craddock last couple races.
I seen that. Yes, he struggled bad at Charlotte. We sure need him to struggle bad at a few more tracks, though.
And just to mention, I won on Wednesday, and I think Nelly won on Friday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Great win on Wednesday. I apologize. We just did the show. I just had your picture up there, and we just did Nelly on Friday, and I did say great win on Friday. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You know me, I got to pick your stuff. I got to be in. That's what I do.
What he does.
Well, tomorrow night we will be in the dirt. What track did you say it was tomorrow night, Larry?
Orange County.
Orange County. Yep. So Orange County tomorrow night. Be looking forward.
Eli can't wait.
Yeah, Eli is chomping at the bit to get a good dirt race in.
Yes, he is the points leader in the dirt race, and he is leading by far.
How about that?
He's got the rest of the field chewing at the bit to get him, though. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, and Thursday night and Friday night we will be at Pocono. Pocono, another one of my favorite tracks. I love that track. Different than anything else on the schedule. 3 different turns and a big long racetrack. I think you run pretty well at Pocono too, don't you, Terry?
Yes, and I was just talking to Momo, and he said he also loves that place. So
Yeah.
It should be a heck of a battle.
It's going to be a fun race. So we'll see you guys on the track tomorrow night at Orange County in the dirt. Hope that a lot of you guys will be able to show up for that. And I'm sure there are a lot of drivers other than Pockets. I know you don't care too much for Pocono Pockets, but a lot of other guys that do. And I'm
I
sure.
like Pocono.
No,
I like
Pocono.
Pocono. Yeah, I like Pocono. Pocono, besides that that real quick right-hander, that high-speed right-hander at Road America, the tunnel turn at Pocono is my favorite turn in all of NASCAR. I love going through there, boy. I love, and that's the one where some people downshift there, some people let it roll through there. I let it roll. I roll through there. I don't downshift the third right there. I roll, and then I downshift going into the big turn down there. But
Turn 3.
I love Pocono. I'm excited for it. I don't have a lot of great success there. I've won a race or two at Pocono, but just to be able to get out there with these guys and race that track the way we can race it and stuff, it just makes for a fantastic race. So I'm excited.
All I know is I'm bringing the tire and the gas setup on Wednesday night.
And before we get out of here, I want to say hi to all my friends over at the American Truck Syndicate tuning in, watching us here. They've been coming over and watching us do some racing and stuff like that, and they think that's pretty cool. They enjoy watching that. So thanks to those guys for tuning in and checking that stuff out.
Absolutely, yeah. We appreciate them tuning in, and it's been a great week. Last week was a great week at Charlotte, wrapping up the segments in the Cup and Xfinity. Looking forward to another great week of racing this week. We'll see you guys on the track tomorrow night at Orange County.
Holla.
See ya.